Tonight on Sports Sunday, are the Rockets back in this series?
Step back three.
The Rockets earned the must-win Game 3, but can they pull it off again in Game 4 against the defending champs?
We've got the keys on what it'll take to even the series. Plus, we're joined by Brian T. Smith of the Houston Chronicle and Mark Medina of the Mercury News with their thoughts on who'll be up after what goes down in Game 4. And the Astros made the most of their trip south of the border.
He's looking up. Grand slam home run!
They're swinging some hot bats as they head home.
At the age of 12, my mom was assaulted, and she was left with blind.
My conversation with Texans All-Pro receiver DeAndre Hopkins. He shares his personal story of domestic violence, how he and his special mom have turned tragedy into triumph, and their mission now to help others.
And down the stretch we go. You're always winning right here on Sports Sunday. Let's get it going right now.
Live from KPRC Channel 2, this is Sports Sunday, presented by Nissan.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sports Sunday. Randy, Adam, and Laney. We are in the house tonight. We're ready to have some fun. Hope you had a great weekend. For the Rockets, it's a big sigh of relief. Must win last night. They had their hands full, but they got it done in overtime against the Warriors to get back in the series, guys.
Yeah, those watching on Facebook Live moments ago, a must-win, wouldn't you say?
I would say so, especially this one coming up. I've also got a story with DeAndre Hopkins. I sat down with him one-on-one. That's coming up here in just a couple minutes.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Big show tonight, next half hour. It's our big story tonight, of course. Rockets not dead yet in this series against Golden State. Houston doing all the little things against the defending champs. Clint Capella, possibly the play of the series, meeting Andre Iguodala at the rim. Double-double for Clint.
Yeah, Eric Gordon knocked down 7 threes and was, again, terrific on defense. So, too, was P.J. Tucker. He was playing physical all game long, crashing the boards as well.
Also angry he wasn't in the game in the fourth quarter when Kevin Durant went off, but James Harden also went off. 41, the decisive bucket in OT, keeping the playoff hopes alive.
I think we still turned the ball over a little bit too much yesterday. So we just got to be more decisive on what we're trying to do and rebound the basketball, which we did.
But it comes down to win a championship. You're talking about a lot of heart, a lot of character, and to be able to withstand bad moments, be able to just be in attack mode all the time, not relax. And that's where this separates, and that's where we did a much better job yesterday, and I think we'll even do a better job going forward.
All right, even though the Rockets still made mistakes, like those 13 turnovers, they got to clean that up. This still look like the recipe they have to beat the Warriors and do it more than one time and more than just last night.
Yeah, for the Rockets to have success this series, everyone has to be impacting the game. For guys like Harden and Gordon, that means scoring. And then for guys like Capella and Tucker, it means crashing the boards, playing physical, not letting the Warriors set the tone. It also means production from the bench, which was huge in Game 3. Guys like Iman Shumpert and Austin Rivers.
It's not going to be easy. Every game going to be a dogfight, man. We play against the best team in the league. You know what I mean? We're trying to be the best team in the league.
They outplayed us. They outboarded us by 20. They were the more physical, aggressive team right from the beginning.
They're going to score in bunches, but we got to fight. Man, if you're going to beat them, you got to fight to the last second.
That rebound advantage that Kerr mentioned, the biggest of the season for the Rockets. So, of course, the fight has been there throughout the series from Houston. Very effective, too, Eric Gordon. No shot blocker waiting at the rim like they had with the Utah Jazz. And they haven't closed out at the three-point line very well either on EG. Career-high 7 threes. He's hitting 45% from behind the arc this postseason. Obviously, huge for Houston.
Gordon does a good job of attacking, as soon as the possession changes hands, he's attacking, he's running the wing, catching the ball, and attacking the rim.
I have to do that every game, and, it's all about bringing something to the table, offensively, defensively, every single night.
Gordy tough, man. I think sometimes we got more confidence in Gordy than he got in himself.
All right, there's been a noticeable difference now with the Rockets team. When Eric Gordon gets hot, they're going to need more of that in Game 4 and beyond in this series if it continues. As we enter now Game 4 on the eve of that, what's everybody expecting now besides EG, besides a James Harden? They need more than that tomorrow.
I'm expecting Chris Paul to be even more involved, possibly. I loved what I was seeing when he was on the court and he was controlling the pace, a lot more ball movement, and sometimes they just need that to match up with Golden State, in my opinion.
Yeah, Chris Paul kind of mocked his aggressiveness in the last game. So, yeah, it was real aggressive. I only took 8 shots, but that's not what it's all about. Laney's right. It's more about being involved in what the Rockets are doing, both offensively and defensively. I do agree. He's going to probably have a bigger imprint on Game 4. They also need an even better start than they had in Game 3.
Yeah, we saw Durant on the floor. Durant's going to get his point. You just got to do the best you can defensively on Durant and see if you can get some results. Now, Harden is clearly seeing clearly right now, at least close to it, right? We think. It's been a week since the eye poke. His left eye still very red, as you saw in the interviews today. His teammates enjoying the questions, though, that he is getting about the eyes.
Were your eyes affecting you or bothering you at all tonight?
What do you mean how they look?
You look crazy. We love you, though.
Yeah, I would say that kind of does
Oh
make you look a little crazy. That was from earlier today, but as you could see, even in the late stages of Game 2, eyes were watering, a little blurry. But throughout Game 3, he can see, he can play. He's coming off a 41-point game.
I can't imagine shooting as far back as he does with your eye like that.
Yeah, I'm still amazed what he did the night he got poked. He still scored 29 points with blurry vision. That's just amazing talent that James Harden certainly has for the Rockets. So again, Game 4 coming up tomorrow. Scheduled for an 8:30 tip at Toyota Center. May start a few minutes later, but it's a must-win game for the Rockets as they try to tie it up and head back to the Bay Area, tied at 2-2 in the series. All right, more Rockets coming up. Let's talk some baseball, guys, shall we? Astros and the Angels, they've been hanging out over Monterrey, Mexico last couple of days. Justin Verlander getting the start today, but even JV couldn't keep the balls in the park. 12 homers by the Astros and Angels in 2 games. Bottom of the first, David Fletcher led off the game, taking Verlander deep left, measured at 401 feet.
Yeah, top of the second, Astros answer with Michael Brantley on board. Carlos Correa, Rockets 1 to right. That's out of here off Matt Harvey. Correa's 7th, 2-1 Houston.
But they were down 3-2 till 4 runs go on the board. 3rd homer in 2 days for Alex Bregman. That's a slammer off Cam Bedrosian. It was 6-3 Astros then. They finish it off and win it 10-4.
It was so much fun here. We had a blast. Glad to come away with 2 wins. Yeah, it's a fun place to play with all the fans that were here. It was a great environment.
Off the play fake. Towards the end zone for Hopkins. Oh, baby. What a grab. Touchdown, Texans. Wow.
We all know what DeAndre Hopkins can do on the field. 11 touchdowns and over 1,500 yards last season alone. But it's maybe even more impressive what he's been doing off the field. As I found out this week at their charity event, DeAndre and his mother Sabrina are using their own experience with domestic violence to help others.
And DeAndre with the catch, touchdown! Caught, Hopkins, touchdown, Houston!
Another chance, Hopkins climbing the ladder.
3-time Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins has arguably the best hands in the NFL. Known for his insane one-handed catches, the All-Pro is well on his way to becoming a Hall of Famer.
What an unbelievable catch.
His biggest fan is his mom, Sabrina, who has a front row seat to his amazing career, but unfortunately has never seen a single touchdown.
At the age of 12, my mom was assaulted, and she was left blind. Since middle school, she hasn't seen me play football.
In 2002, Sabrina was the victim of an abusive relationship, resulting in a chemical attack that nearly killed her. Despite the attempt to end Sabrina's life, she not only survived it, she triumphed. She raised and sent her 4 kids to college and now devotes her life to helping empower families affected by domestic violence.
That's my mom and my father. She raised 4 kids on her own. My mom has done things unimaginable. She's sacrificed just to make sure that her kids had a good career one day.
Seeing what she went through, does that make you just want better for all women who are in those situations?
It does. And you can't help everyone, but you can only do what you can. And we help one family, help 2 families. We feel like our time on this earth was worth it.
Why do you think it is such a cycle with domestic violence? It's really hard to get out of once you get in a situation like that.
Sometimes it's systematic. It's women seeing things growing up and them kind of following that cycle. It's hard to kind of break a cycle that you're in, especially when you don't have the resources.
DeAndre and his mom Sabrina want to use their platform to not only show victims of domestic violence that there is a way out, but they're taking it a step further by providing them with the resources to do it.
A lot of women who go through those situations, they kind of don't know where to start. They don't have the help. But my mom is building something in South Carolina that's helping women with that transition to provide furniture for them. If they're in need of furniture for a new place or a bed, or even counseling, we're providing free counseling. And the next step is providing jobs for those women or relocations.
Why is it important for you, DeAndre Hopkins, to share your story? You could kind of decide to keep that personal. You could not want to be public about that. But why do you think it's important for you to talk about it?
Because my mom and what she's went through. And so I see how important it is to her, and for someone not to be in a situation like she's in, and not to be able to see, their son or their daughter do what they love.
And even though Sabrina may not visibly see DeAndre's talent and passion on the field, she can feel it. What does it mean to you that even though she can't see you, she's still there supporting every game? You always go over and give her the football when you score.
Yeah.
So I know it still brings you so much joy, and her support still means the same, even if she can't see you.
It does. It means the world. And, I put her on the first row so she can feel me when I do score. And just having that support, knowing my mom is right there. Sometimes, I'll peek over just to see her, what she's doing and her facial expression, because we have family around, that's telling her constantly what's going on.
And she hears your name a lot. I mean, your name is said all the time.
So when she don't hear my name, she'll be like, all right, I didn't hear your name enough.
So can you step it up?
Yeah.
Hop also told me to be on the lookout for a movie that is currently in the works about his mom. It will tell her inspiring story of courage and perseverance. And if you want to donate or find out more about Sabrina's nonprofit foundation, Smooth, go to www.smooth.org.
All right, thanks, Lady. Great story there with D-Hop. As for D-Hop's teammates, they were at Minute Maid Park yesterday for the big J.J. Watt Charity Classic. Home Run Derby, new quarterback A.J. McCarron. He got a little swing with him, right? Team high 5 home runs in round 1, Wex.
Yeah, but just one dinger in the finals. Made it easy on JJ to win it. He just needed 2, and he got them. Sent one into the Crawford boxes, then a screamer over the left field fence. And somehow, with all those muscles, he lifted that massive trophy up over his head as Home Run Derby champ.
Of course, whenever Watt hosts an event, it's always first class all the way around. Such was last night. And today, Watt went on social media to announce over $1 million was raised, guys.
Just amazing. On Twitter, JJ thanked everybody involved, all the fans that showed up, all of his teammates that were there, also the many volunteers that made it happen. For JJ, it's all about giving back through his foundation, especially after-school athletics.
We were getting letters from teachers who were telling us that their students were doing better in class. They were more attentive. They were getting better grades. They were seeing improvement in their students because they had something to look forward to at the end of the day, because they were learning discipline and they were learning how to manage their time. And to me, that was the coolest part of it all, because that was an unintended consequence that obviously turned out to be really cool.
Got to give a hat tip to Justin Reed for that great catch, even with just one hand. Still to come on Sports Sunday, we take the pulse of the series on the beat from both sides. Warriors beat writer Mark Medina and Houston Chronicle columnist Brian T. Smith give a look ahead to Game 4.
Plus, coming up, the Kentucky Derby controversy that had everyone talking over the weekend. We'll give our take on how it all went down at Churchill Downs. We'll be right back.
This is Sports Sunday, presented by Nissan.
To Kalia Ohai. Now she's against Kennedy. Cuts it to her right. Shoots to the back post. Oh, my Ohai.
Jordan Angeli with the great call on that. First goal of the season for Kalia Ohai is the difference as the Dash beat Orlando 1-0. Now, for more on the big Rockets game tomorrow night, here's Wex from earlier at the Toyota Center.
We almost have a series now as the Rockets got that first win. Joined here at Toyota Center, Mark Medina, Mercury News beat writer for the Golden State Warriors, and of course, Houston Chronicle columnist Brian T. Smith. Mark, we'll start with you. I say we almost have a series. Both teams have merely won their games at home. What do you expect differently, if anything, from the Warriors in Game 4?
Well, I think the Warriors aren't panicking because they still have a 2-1 series lead. It's the old adage that a series doesn't start until someone wins on the road. So I think the Warriors still feel very confident, but there is a bucket list of things that they need to do. One, Steph Curry has to be Steph Curry and not be missing layups and missing dunks at the rim. Number two, the Warriors have talked a lot about the importance of the rebounding battle. Not only does that help them win extra possessions, but specifically with the Houston Rockets, they shoot a lot of threes. If they don't win that battle, then it could be a blowout because of all those extra points.
Well, Brian, Mark mentions the bucket list that the Warriors now have. The Rockets had a bucket list when they were down 0-2. They feel like they got those things done.
The Rockets have their confidence back, and that's simply what it comes down to. And we can talk about all the code words: force, intensity, swagger. When they attack for 4 quarters, and you have Clint Capella having a huge stuff, and James Harden hitting the big shot. Not Steph Curry, not Kevin Durant, and James Harden. That's the Rockets team that theoretically can finally take down the Warriors.
What have you thought about the 2 injuries that happened in Game 2? How they've affected things since then? The eye now, just one eye, it looks like, for James Harden is an issue. Still doesn't look very good here a day before Monday night's game. And also, obviously, Steph Curry's digit on his non-shooting hand could be giving him trouble.
I love James Harden with crazy eyes. I mean, if there's the way
Chris Paul told him he looked crazy.
I think it's awesome, honestly. We've always wanted more from James Harden. James Harden's the MVP, and he can average 36 points a game and drop 50 for a billion times. But James Harden's got to be crazy in this series. He's got to be intense. It's got to be literally do or die for James Harden. So he needs to just continue to be James Harden. But Steph Curry, for me, is the biggest question mark in this series. And Steph Curry can be the best shooter in the NBA. He can also disappear. Same for Klay Thompson. If Steph Curry isn't right, it feels like this series goes 6, goes 7s, and the Rockets not just can steal this thing, but can take this series back if Steph Curry continues to struggle like this.
He's not right with the middle finger in his left hand, and I noticed that there's been kind of a constant tinkering with figuring out how much it should be wrapped and finding a comfort level. The encouraging thing is it's his non-shooting hand, so he still should be able to shoot. But I think what you've seen ever since he had that injury earlier in the series is that he just doesn't feel comfortable going to his left as much.
What do you expect in Game 4 tomorrow night?
Well, I expect the Rockets are going to continue to play the way they have, but I think the Warriors have shown a track record, for better and for worse. When they feel very comfortable with a lead, they tend to let their guard down a little bit. But once they start getting tested, their effort goes 100 miles an hour. And I think that's one of the primary reasons why the Warriors are able to open up with a 2-0 series lead against Houston, because they have so much respect for how the Rockets push them to Game 7, even without Chris Paul for the latter part of the series. They know that they can't mess around.
It feels like we still haven't seen either team in this series, Adam, play their best for 48 minutes or 48 minutes plus 5 in overtime. The Rockets at their best, the Warriors at their best. I'm taking the Warriors. I don't care what court it's on. But the Warriors have felt shaky and vulnerable all season. I thought it showed again in Game 3. It showed at the end of Game 2 when they couldn't close that game down, and they almost let the Rockets steal Game 1. I'm taking the Rockets at Game 4. 7-game series, Warriors winning 7.
Sounds like we've got a series. Appreciate Mark Medina, Mercury News beat writer for the Warriors, of course, Chronicle columnist Brian T. Smith here with us on Sports Sunday.
All right, thanks, Wex. Hey, final round of the Insperity Invitational out in the Woodlands today. Scott McCarron started the day in the lead, stays in front thanks to putts like that. He had it working all day, finishes 17 under par. McCarron wins the Insperity Invitational on a great day for golf out there. Also takes home $330,000. All right, still ahead on Sports Sunday, we'll let you decide, was this Dodgers fan a winner or loser the other night in San Fran? More Sports Sunday coming up.
This is Sports Sunday, presented by Nissan.
Maximum security. Country House 1-2 down to the line. Maximum security wins the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, at least we thought so. Maximum Security was the first horse to cross the finish line, but then it was determined he had committed a foul by moving out of the lane, effectively cutting off another horse. So against big odds, the underdog Country House takes home the victory. First time for a Derby winner to ever be disqualified. Ooh. That was big news over the weekend. So Wex Laney, did race officials get this thing right at Churchill Downs? It was so close, you really had to break down this video.
How about having a Game 7 and waiting about 22 minutes for them to decide who the winner really is? That's how long the review took place. But as you see here, it was a rider objection, and just Maximum Security slides out away from the rail and makes contact. And I mean, I'm not an expert, but I think they got it right.
There. I think right there.
Yeah, I was going to say I need to brush up on my rules, but I think they did get it right. All I know is that's got to hurt. Can you imagine thinking for that length of time that you just won the Kentucky Derby and then it's snatched away from under you? I can't.
In Country House, 65 to 1 odds. So if you put some money in, you made a little bit of money last time. All right, the over-under out of Vegas for the NFL season and the Texans and other teams coming in. Talk about odds and underdogs. Check out the latest over-under for the NFL. Texans picked second in the AFC South. Over under at 8.5 wins. What do we think about this?
I think
Shortchanging these guys,
they're like
or what?
everybody else. This is a very, very, very close division. They're not shortchanging the Texans, I don't think. Not with their schedule.
I think it was pretty accurate. I don't think they're shortchanging him, but I do think that.
We're only in May. So
Yeah,
you have time to
yeah.
figure this
I'm
out.
like, do we know what we think yet? No.
All right, hey, a couple of quick hits. Did you see what happened in this video in San Francisco? Is amazing. Friday with the lucky Dodger fan, or was he lucky? Foul ball, the guy in the blue shirt reaches for the ball, winds up dumping his entire dinner with French fries flying around. That's probably, what, 15 or 20 bucks out there? To get
Ooh, he's
It's
mad.
a good trade, or you decide here. What do you think?
He's mad.
Yeah, that guy who was mad is the guy who dropped the ball to begin with, and then it's the same guy dropping more food, and the woman is a
Look at the
pro.
lady. Yeah,
She
look
has
at the
white
lady in the
pants
blue.
on.
She just
has white pants on.
and doesn't seem phased. I'm shocked. She took that like a champ.
Oh my goodness.
More
Okay.
food
And
flying.
you asked if he's a winner or a loser. I think we know the answer to that.
Are those nachos? This guy, he does not look
That
happy.
is my favorite part of all that. Okay, staying on the diamond. This was the scene at Mercer University. That's in Georgia. Bad weather coming in, so the players are all trying to quickly pull out the tarp, and whoop! It just
And good thing the net was there.
watch it in slow motion.
Well, players do act as groundskeepers all the time at this level,
They
and
need a little work
I
on
hope
it.
could not
there's no
handle it.
injuries
Is their
over that.
baseball team any good? I mean, are they good? They're not very good on the groundskeeping.
They need to work
A little
on
windy for them.
their tarp stuff.
All right, one last time out. Sports Sunday's coming right back. Don't go anywhere.
All right, before we go, some thoughts on Game 4. I think Austin Rivers said it best, that 10 times out of 10, the Warriors are going to be more talented, so the Rockets have to play harder if they want to win.
And smarter. Harder and smarter. They did that in Game 3. I think they're going to do it again in Game 4.
All right, they need a win, a must-win, really, for the Rockets to even this series, 2 games apiece. Then it goes back to Oakland. We'll see how it all unfolds. 8:30 tip tomorrow night. For Laney Wex, I'm Randy. Thanks for watching Sports Sunday. See you next week.